Hello everybody, welcome back to the Forever Bedrock SMP. So, as you guys can tell, I am facing a completely different direction than my normal introduction. And that is simply because we got a lot of work done on Planet Express ship in between episodes. So as you can see, I have been oxidizing copper, and I have been using Freb's method, and it does work. It 100% works. So if you guys haven't gotten a chance, go check out his video, and also go check out all the other Forever Bedrockers too. But here is where we're at on the ship. So as you guys remember last time, we had 4 rings in, and then we had this red part in. And then I went ahead and I added the cut copper onto the side of the stairs to match this. And then the design in the middle, I went with cut copper for the 3 in the center. And then we're just going with copper, oxidized copper on the outside. And then I started working on this like slanted part. Now, this does need a little bit of work with the shaping. This needs to come out a hair more. Kind of like, instead of like coming straight up, it needs to like curve out like that. And we'll work with that. I just want to get that top row across, and then that way that'll give me like a general area I need to work with. But we're actually not going to work on the ship today. We are actually going to work on a couple of other projects. So last episode I told you guys that we are going to be building another shop. And that is Beacons, which, as you guys remember last season, or in 1.17, of course, we never technically had a shop for it. It was just a lean-to on the side of, Dog's Logs. So we're actually going to build an actual shop this season, and we're going to build a hot air balloon. So I'm going to get the materials needed, and Freb was actually nice enough to give me the wool needed to make the hot air balloon itself. I just got to grab some wood, and we'll head over to the shopping district area and hopefully complete that build. Well guys, we went ahead and made it on over to the shopping district. I just finished checking my shop and we did not make any sales. But I did go ahead and get the start of the hot air balloon in. So like I said, this is something that I've never built before, but I did make a pretty cool slime block launcher right there. And of course, this will be what we're selling. I just have some scaffolding here to help me out. Now, Freb was nice enough to bring us some wool. Now, it's just a matter of finding where the wool is because I don't have any of my boxes dyed. There we go. Alright, so this design is kind of going to be a little weird, but like I said, I've never really done this, so I don't know how this is going to work. So I'm going to toy around with these shapes, and hopefully we can get something cool out of this, but give me a bit, and let's see what we can come up with. Well, as it turns out, that wasn't really that hard to make this balloon shape. I actually used a website online. I forget the name of it, but it basically has like dome generators, circle generators, and like points. And it actually makes it really easy because you can break it down layer by layer and then just build it up from there. So now that we got this general shape in, what I want to do is take like a white stripe up to here and then continue the white stripe around. So it's going to have like your typical hot air balloon design. So we're going to go ahead and I'll get that all in and we'll see how it looks after that. That's the one problem with this store is if you go too fast, you actually end up missing the landing, but not a big deal. And just like that, we now have a completed shop. So I went ahead and I added in like the little fire thing to, make the balloon go up. I think that's pretty cool. And of course, you just walk right in here and currently, we're at 8 diamonds per beacon because I cut my prices in half since I sold out at the end of last season. I told everybody if I did that, I'd cut my prices. So, they were 15, now they're 8, and there's already an Enderman on top of my balloon. Wonderful. But, yeah, guys, this is my current balloon, and this is Beacons. So, pretty excited with how this build turned out. I've never actually built a hot air balloon before, and, yeah, it could be better, and, yeah, it could be worse. So I mean, I'm pretty excited about this. I think it's really cool. So let's go ahead and get started on our next project for the episode. And that is actually going to be the giant sandworm that is going to be behind our build. Well, guys, as it turns out, I was wrong. So we came back to our base. And like I said, our goal was to start the worm over here. And I didn't realize how many materials it would take because I did start drawing it up in creative mode. Just getting like a general shape and a general feel. And there's going to be no way we're going to be able to do this project today, only because I just don't have the materials. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip that project for now. We'll come back, relax. And I actually have almost 2 stacks of copper. So I want to get some of this in. I know he said they're not going to work on the ship. See, this episode's just kind of going with the wind, so. But what I also want to do is come over here and get some of the packed ice laid in here, and at least cover this area here, because this will be our next little, like, ice gouge lake area, so it'll actually end up matching this. And then we can go ahead and make some maps, too. And, of course, you know, actually, like, map our area. Now, I would like to actually make, like, a couple announcements, I guess you could call them. Not 100% sure. But, first off, guys, if you didn't happen to watch Sunday's video, we are doing a thing where if you do subscribe and in the comments you leave FB subscribed, hashtag FB subscribed, you actually end up getting your own armor stand. And we are working on completing that day by day. It's, you know, a process. It's a mega build. It's actually huge. So, but yeah, if you go ahead and just leave that comment, then, you know, you go ahead and get your own armor stand and all that. And, you know, plus it helps me beat Joe to 100. So it's win-win for me. Next thing is I am actually starting what you can almost kind of call a podcast in a sense. So basically every Saturday I'm going to release what is going to be an hour-long video. But it's not really like your normal video that we do around here, because let's face it, my style is more towards a Let's Play style. But it's going to be more of like a podcast style. So basically what it is it's just going to be an hour straight of me mining. But I'm actually going to be talking about like everything that's going on in Minecraft. So we're going to be talking about the updates, the bugs, betas, you know, 1.18, 1.19, frogs, frog lights, like really anything about the game. Basically my opinions of it, you know, and then we're going to interview different Minecraft content creators. So this week I asked Freb to be my first guest on the show. And if you guys don't know him, you have to go watch all of his videos twice. And then tell all his subscribers to subscribe to me. That's what you guys should do. But yeah, Freb's a cool guy. And actually, me and Freb kind of made a deal about shulker boxes. So, shulker boxes on the server are 2 for basically a diamond block or 1 for 6. I've never actually just bought one because what's the point, right? So anyways, if you buy 2, you get them for a diamond block. So I contacted him last night and I was like, hey Freb, I'm doing a giant storage system here, buddy. I'm like, and I'm using shulker boxes, so it's like a mobile, large storage system. You know, can you hook me up with a price, man? So he was like, well, he's like, if I sell you 30 of them, evidently Freb has a Midwestern accent. He's like, well, I could sell you 30 of them. He's like, well, that would be like 15 diamonds, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, how about I give you a one-time deal of 12 diamond blocks? And I was like, you, sir, are a genius. I also don't know why Freb has a Midwest accent. He doesn't in real life. And I swear I didn't know this, but I gave Freb 10 days to get me the 30 shulker boxes, and he's already delivered. That dude is insane, man. I tell you what, you ever need anything on the server, you talk to Freb. Well, I'm going to be hooking him up like with some diamond blocks, and of course, you guys know that with the Mining Minecraft podcast, since I didn't finish necessarily talking about that, it's going to be an hour of me mining because, A, I need resources badly. So I figure that'll be a good reason to get resources. Basically, it'll force me to go mining because you guys know that I'm not a... Ironically, for it being called Minecraft, I don't go mining a lot. I just try to earn my diamonds, of course, you know, with my stores. But right now, we can actually go ahead, and I'm going to show you guys what my storage system plans are for this season. So we're going to have a hopper there. We're going to go like that there. And we're going to go like that. Okay, so that's why I'm on this block. So basically the floor ends here, and then, you know, we'll design like a wall up. Basically, it's just going to be a white wall, and then over top is just going to be like some structural blocks. But anyways, we have this design here with, of course, a shulker box. Now, if I come over here, grab some of these. Now, the cool thing about this is I can do something like this, right? I kind of can't. But anyways, so my general design is going to be like this. obviously we'll have to tinker around with it. And then, obviously we'll have to add some like hoppers and stuff like that. But in general, it's going to look like this and say like this for now. And then we'll hopefully have an item filter coming out the back. Room might be an issue, but we'll figure something out. There has to be a solution. We might even have to go 4 chests high in the back. But basically, that's how it's going to be. And then, like I said, it's going to be sectioned off. And then that way I can just come in here, grab the items I need. And if I happen to need a whole shulker box of items, just mine it up and bam, we're good to go. So I think it's going to be a pretty unique storage system. I've never seen one like that. So we're going to go ahead and give that a shot. So I hope you guys are definitely excited for the podcast coming up. I think it's going to be a really cool idea and something that's, well, different, frankly, because that's unlike anything I've ever done before. Let's make that ice. So I figure now we'll go ahead and lay this, of course, ice all in here. And the cool thing is we can kind of do like layers, I guess, or, a little bit of layers, kind of make it look a little bit deep and stuff like that. Obviously, we're going to do the same thing we did over there, and that is kind of putting the red nether, or the crimson nylium, I guess, is actually the proper word. This, and then some nether rack before we phase it back into the sand, just to kind of give it a little, like, depth and, fun, I guess you could say. But, yeah, we'll just continue this here all across. And there we go. We have our lovely ice all in. So, like I said, this could be the frozen water that they always find on Mars. We have proof of it right here. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a couple maps now. And we'll actually make a small maps. And then that way, like we can actually see our build and our progress and all that. And I also had some skeleton horses spawn. So we now have a friend, which is really what we needed on this planet. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this stuff back in here. I don't need any of this. Wow. Isn't it insane how much junk you pick up when you're just kind of meandering around? Alright, so my sugarcane is up here. So let's go grab that. And like I said, we'll make the small maps. And I know I have more than one. Okay, good. Got kind of worried there for a second. Now, do we have any? Here we go. Alright. So I'm going to need 3 makes a map. That's not for 4 maps. Okay, so alright, cool. Alright, so these are actually pretty big. So this one should just start like right over here. And I like how copper shows up as blue on maps. So we're going to have a blue spaceship. We'll slide over here a bit more. Okay, cool. So that goes ahead and gives us this area here, and it has this. I'm pretty sure we already have this map. So, I mean, it's not a giant deal, but still looks cool nonetheless. Let me actually go ahead and make some item frames here too. Alright, so this is our area as it stands. So I do have to come over this way a bit more, and we'll actually, you know what? Let's be smart. Let's just do this now. And then that way we'll have the maps. Aha. Wasn't smart not to grab them, but it was smart to make more now. And then that way we can update them too, and I think that'll be pretty cool. So basically what this shows me is we got to lay a lot more red sand. So this kind of gives us our boundaries. Of course, over here is going to be Mons Olympus. Down in here is going to be Sidonia. And then here we're going to have like a worm monster thing coming out of the hole. So, yeah, we're going to need a lot more red sand, aren't we? But at least the ice shows up, and I think that ice looks really, really cool. And here's a weird thing. So all this copper is oxidizing, and oxidized copper shows up as blue on maps, but on this it shows up as greenish. Huh. That is very interesting. Well, on the map we're going to have a blue ship. What else can I say? Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision here. So, we don't have the materials to do the worm. We don't have the materials to do this area over here. So, we're going to finish this episode working on the ship, which is kind of ironic because at the beginning of the episode I said we aren't going to be working on the ship that much, and that's mostly what we got done. But next episode, guys, I'm going to be a lot more prepared because I actually do have time now to go get materials. That was the biggest issue, was I just didn't have time. I worked on the iron farm, in between filming this episode and, other stuff. I got adult stuff going on too, so. But I did actually end up getting a new microphone stand, and this clip is actually being recorded using a new mic stand. So hopefully my sound quality is better. I'm not going to be able to tell that. You guys are going to have to tell me that. But we should really make a list of things we need. So in that way, I don't mess up. So we definitely know we need crimson nylium. I have enough netherrack. That I do have. We could always use more red sand, obviously, because we have to cover a lot more area just to cover these maps. And that's not even including back there. Of course, we could always use more oxidized copper. We're going to be building a whole ship out of it. My goal before next episode is to have at least this half of the ship done to back here. And then that way we can start on the storage system so we can start cleaning up all these chests. Because this is like a nightmare getting around here. You guys wouldn't even believe. Of course, when we do the podcast episode, we're going to be mining. So we're probably going to mine up some copper and, diamonds and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm just mining mostly for diamonds, but we're going to have a ton of deep slate. So if there's anybody who's on the server and needs deep slate, which I know there's a couple of you guys out there who do, obviously you guys can start bidding on the chests upon chests of deep slate that I am about to have, because I plan on doing this podcast every Saturday, and you figure I mine for an hour every Saturday in deep slate, I'm going to get a decent amount of it. So I'm open to bids on chests of deep slate. But looks like we're winding down here, guys, because I am out of oxidized copper. Unless there's one more block here. Should I go grab that? Nah, we'll leave these couple till next time. But I'm going to gather materials, guys. I'm going to actually get my butt in gear here. We also needed beacons, too. Beacons. I'm sorry if I stole someone's comment, but we needed beacons. But alright, guys, that will conclude today's episode. I'm sorry it took like a 180 from our plan, but, life and stuff happens, and sometimes you just gotta roll with it. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please leave a comment, please leave a like, and make sure you subscribe. Like I said, we're doing the armor stand thing in the stadium. We gotta beat Joe to 100, and I'm making improvements to the channel all the time, so all the more reasons to subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.